viewer beware! These are 53 terrifying features to turn Minecraft into a horror game. And some sights might be too frightening for more sensitive viewers. Like the monsters that lurk in the rain. Players should immediately run for cover when the skies begin to cry, as terrifying creatures now hide in its mists. Tiny skulls bound towards players, while ghostly vapors chase and scream. And the nightmarish Vallum stalks you in the night, killing any player it catches and lowering the sanity of any that escape. Sanity being a new survival mechanic that represents your mental health. It can be lowered by doing things like staying in the dark or being attacked. Failing to keep your sanity in balance by relaxing with a nice meal or sleeping can have drastic consequences, as insane players will start to see hallucinations, frightening creatures only they can see that will attempt to kill them, made even more horrifying with Insanity Shaders, a horror-themed shader pack that excels at building an intense atmosphere for players. Combine it with the Sound Physics mod for more realistic sounds to make Minecraft feel like a completely different game. What is that? The Man from the Fog, a terrifying creature that watches and waits from a distance. Do not ignore it, as players that keep a watchful eye will be able to drive it off, while those that fail to take notice will anger it. And then, it's too late to stop it. Though, while keeping an eye out for that menace, you're likely to stumble across a number of bloody new structures. Labyrinths are filled with both treasure and jump scares, while long-abandoned laboratories sit creepily dormant until you set off the alarm. Then, there's the Herobrine Sanctum, his final resting place. But there are worse places to be, like in a fight with this Crusader, a mini-boss that only appears after the 10th day of the game. It'll summon a rainstorm before firing magical projectiles at the player and summoning any variety of undead mobs in hordes, including swarmers, fly-infected zombies that have become a living nest. Not only will they no longer burn in the sun, but it will periodically summon corpse flies to aid it in battle. Then, after death, it explodes, releasing a swarm of flies, maggots, and bloody gadflies. Worse still, if a fly then finds a decaying zombie, it'll infect it, eventually turning it into a brand new swarmer. And with the addition of the enhanced visuals mod, fighting these is much harder, as taking damage will now bloody up your screen, and explosions will blind you, while dust and dirt can be kicked up in your eyes, both impairing your vision and providing a more immersive atmosphere as you explore the cavern depths. And these caves have only become more dangerous, as tremors rumble below deep slate level and drop sharp stalactites. But even more deadly are the Mantle Caves, the center of Minecraft's Earth, with magma, lava, and fire-shooting geysers. And yet, even deeper lies the ever-growing deep dark biome, with new skulk mobs, such as the Spreader, mutating its surroundings to ever expand the skulk's influence, parasites that blend in with their surroundings, waiting to ambush players, and the Annihilator, a beast that will wake up come nighttime, with a vicious appetite for anything it can find. However, the most dangerous, even more than the Warden, is the Stalker, appearing as a statue that, when broken, has the potential to unleash a horrific evil. And unlike the Warden, it doesn't rely on sound or smells. It can sense your very soul. And not even those coveted ancient city chests are safe, thanks to the Mimic. Found hiding in structures, it loves to jump scare unsuspecting players with a vicious bite. Though players who act quickly and take it down can claim a valuable Mimic Core, which enables players to create their own pet Mimic to help carry items and fight off mobs, even as your torches burn out. The Hardcore Torches mod takes survival to the next level by forcing players to manage their light sources. And since torches and lanterns can both die down over time, the darkness and the mobs that spawn in it can really sneak up on you. Like these zombies. This resource pack overhauls the undead by revamping the appearances of zombies, husks, villager zombies, and drowned with over 1,000 unique textures, so no two undead look the same. Then combine it with the fresh animations pack to even get them shambling around. Now, I don't know about you, but this seems a heck of a lot scarier than this. Though the undead could get more than just a facelift, as if paired with the zombie awareness mod, these mobs could gain the intelligence to follow light sources, investigate sounds like mining or explosions, and even track your blood. See, when injured, players would drop some blood on the ground, and worse still, if critically injured, the player would continue to bleed until healed up, essentially giving the undead a trail of blood crumbs to follow. But even scarier still might be in there. Never mind. It's just a The one who watches is a vicious hunter that loves to play with his food. Often found stalking at a distance in the overworld or hanging from cave ceilings, your only chance of survival is to keep your distance long enough for it to lose interest in you, which is especially hard during invasions. These events happen every few nights and summon an endless wave of mobs until that night is over. As time goes on in your world, invasions increase in severity, helping to make the nighttime feel scary again. Just watch out for the blood moons, a lunar event that not only bathes the land in red and cranks up the monster spawn limit even more, but also prevents the player from sleeping through it, meaning there's no escape from this onslaught when the moon shines blood red. You can't even hide in the water, as it's now home to the monstrous gluttonfish. Equal parts aggressive and horrifying, it'll launch bone-breaking attacks on nearly all who cross its path. Armor and a shield is a must, as players still have a chance to block its attacks if timed correctly, disorienting it and leaving it vulnerable. Then take it down, and you'll earn a gluttonfish eye that can be eaten to instantly refill your oxygen, plus the gluttonfish stomach, which can be torn open to receive the hidden treasures inside. Though never more than in the Crypt, a new expansive labyrinth guarded by undead illagers. This spooky structure is filled to the brim with combat arenas, traps, valuables, and secrets hidden throughout its unsettling walls. Oh, okay. One holds a prize, the other means certain demise. Seek the books, blah, blah, blah. I'm going down this hole. Whoa! Everything is way darker here. Must be the True Darkness mod. What is that? Oh, it's just a statue. As True Darkness limits a player's visibility, it can really leave your mind racing, and it's great for those craving a vanilla-styled horror experience. Okay, well... Oh no! These are weeping angels! Living statues that can only move when they're not being looked at. And they're incredibly fast. If you look away for even a second, they can catch you. Though they don't mean to kill you, but rather to teleport you to a random place in any random dimension, leaving you stranded. Thankfully, if obtained, a timey-wimey detector item will ding when there's angels near you, giving you a heads up. It's just a shame that it doesn't work for the new peeping creepers. Instead of just coming up and priming for an explosion, these sneaky devils now patiently stalk their prey, waiting to jump scare you with an explosion the second you see them. And should obstacles block their path to you, they'll now self-destruct to breach and create a path for their fellow mobs. The only place that's safe is off the ground. Heck, I'd even take that isolated and cursed-looking floating island there. I've heard of this structure before. It's a prison for the Lich, said to be one of the most dangerous boss mobs ever. He can only be freed by a ritualistic sacrifice. Good thing I'm not stupid enough to... What the... Carl! What? The Lich, a beacon of corruption summoned into this realm, wields formidable power through its bone staff, made from the remains of its victims. This dark entity can bend reality by summoning minions to keep you busy and dead corpses from the sky to smash down on top of you, all while casting numerous devastating spells, like explosive skulls and levitation! Ow! He can even blind the player as he begins hunting through the darkness, forcing you to listen to his undead moans in order to avoid the monster. And finally, if you deal enough damage, his final deformation phase will begin, turning him into a raging beast. while this battle is hard fought and seldom won, defeating the Lich will grant the victor the Lich's Staff, allowing you to summon minions of your very own. Though, why would you summon the undead when you could instead create life? Biomancy introduces living flesh technology. With this flesh sickle, players can harvest extra resources from their kills. Then, craft a primordial cradle to feed it meat and health potions, until it births a meat blob. Feeding this blob more meat will grow it in size, until it's ready to be harvested for its living flesh, which is an item that can be used to unlock new possibilities, including the powerful Ravenous Claws, a weapon that can be strengthened by feeding it meat. And that's on top of a whole new set of gross fleshy blocks, including the tongue, which disperses items 3 at a time, and the Maw Hopper, for rapid item transportation of up to 16 items at once. Biomancy turns death into a useful tool, and those Ravenous Claws can help a lot when faced with the Nahemoth, a formidable creature that unleashes terror at night with its own vicious claw attacks and groundbreaking slams. Its roar not only instills fear, but can blind players, adding to its nightmarish presence. Luckily for players, however, this beast will literally turn to stone in the sunlight. And while fighting mobs like zombies, you might notice them lose blood as you attack. The Blood and Gore mod helps aid in this more gruesome combat experience, and even changes skeletons so that their bones shatter upon each hit, adding a satisfying crunch to battles and helping immerse the player deeper in the action. Why are your eyes glowing?
Tear him limb from limb.
Oh. Herobrine. This legendary entity can terrorize the overworld by possessing living and undead mobs alike, amplifying their danger. While possessed monsters gain enhanced health, armor, and damage, it's the passive mobs you should really be worried about, as they gain bizarre abilities under Herobrine's control. Sheep, when attacked, will multiply in numbers. Pigs transform into hostile pigmen, and chickens become so fast and aggressive that you'll find yourself struggling to hit them. Any encounter with Herobrine's minions is tough, but keep in mind, with each possessed you kill, Herobrine's rage will only grow stronger. What? Where am I? Oh no, this must be the Dead Sea dimension, a realm of nightmares and terrifying biomes, like the City of Ashes, where every building corner hides untold horrors, and survival means keeping your sword at the ready. Then there's Ha Ha Land, a twisted amusement park overrun by murderous clowns. Though even if you escape, the overworld isn't safe from clowns either. And armed with an intoxicating brew, this slow-moving adversary uses its concoction to launch attacks that dish damage, impair your movement, and cloud your vision with poison, leaving you reeling with dizziness. It's still better than what's inside these surprise boxes though. Scattered across the world, if you activate one, you'll be met with a haunting melody before this beast in a box pops out. It assaults unlucky players with a barrage of terrifying clown heads and lightning strikes, while leaping at its targets with unnerving agility. But it's worth the scares, as players stand a chance to gain rare gems and the coveted Squeaky Mallet. This whimsical weapon not only surpasses Netherite in damage, but also entertains with its comical sounds, blending humor with might. Less funny though is this updated fire spreading mechanic. Now, when any entity is ablaze, whether it's a player or even arrows, they become a moving hazard that can spread devastation far beyond the initial flame. A horrifying sight to see when zombies burning in the daytime spread those fires to the surrounding area. Players must now consider the potential collateral damage when engaging with any firebound entities, though it is actually a blessing to have when your world is being overrun with the flesh. Spawned from an incubator, the flesh contains mobs and blocks that will continue to spread across and infect your world if left unchecked. Terraformed areas will begin spawning infector mobs, which can then convert any other nearby mobs into its fleshy counterparts, even mutating into new creatures, including the Flesh Hysterizer, a monstrous mutant wielding a bone chainsaw arm capable of slicing through blocks to hunt its prey, or the Flesh Community, a grotesque amalgamation of merged mobs. This ever-evolving threat can transform your landscapes into a living nightmare, like the new large graveyard structure structure. Here, the air is thick with ghostly spirits clawing up at the earth. This eerie sight invites the brave to unearth graves and pry open coffins in search of hidden treasures. But tread carefully. This haunted domain is crawling with perilous mobs lying in wait for the unprepared. A thrilling hunt for riches among the restless dead. You might even run into the mythical doppelganger, a cunning creature that can kill and assume any mob's identity, mimicking their appearance and mannerisms with almost uncanny precision, making it hard to spot the imposters until it's too late. So keep a watchful eye out to avoid being ambushed by the doppelganger or this new mob named the Horror. It won't hesitate to get in your face while teleporting around, blinding you, and spawning decoys everywhere, adding to the confusion while it hides and attacks. However, there's a trick to revealing the true mob, as it becomes visible near light sources. Ha! There you are! And water also proves fatal to the decoys, so having a bucket makes it much easier to fight while exploring Minecraft's upgraded dungeon structures. These upgraded crypts aren't just bigger, but due to extra spawners, spawn a much higher number of terrifying mobs. Although, these structures aren't without their perks, as adventurers willing to brave these trials will find themselves richly rewarded with treasures that match the increased challenge. A perfect blend of risk and reward. Ah! No! Gross! Ah, and if you throw in Nif Spiders mod, you can make the 8-legged freaks even more unnerving, as they can then climb walls and ceilings with ease. And pairing it with the Patrick's 32X resource pack results in these predators being rendered in more chillingly realistic and horrifying detail. Players will have to look over their shoulders and up at the ceilings with every step they take, especially if you add these scarier spiders. Giving even more arachnid variety, these creepy crawlies can prey on animals and villagers, bringing captives to their mother spider to multiply. Worse still is their ability to camouflage themselves across various biomes, crafting moments of sheer panic as they emerge unexpectedly, like these eyes that lurk in the darkness, accompanied by eerie, playful giggles. If spotted, players must look at them immediately to scare them away, because if left unnoticed, these watchers will stealthily close in on the unsuspecting before striking with a bone-chilling jump scare and poison touch. Ah!
Run while you can.
What? No, not the cave dweller! A haunting presence within the dark caves. The louder the sounds, the closer it is. Ah! Exhibiting alarming intelligence, the cave dweller can navigate through even one-block gaps in its relentless pursuit. Quick reactions and a good hiding spot are your only refuge against this relentless predator, turning every cave exploration into a nerve-wracking experience. Though, no matter the fear, never engage in this dark ritual of villager sacrifice, as you might summon these 7 deadly sins. Each creature, from Wistiver's insatiable gluttony, growing stronger with each kill, to the walking bed of sloth, represents a sin with distinct behaviors. Pride has unmatched speed, while greed causes it to linger in its puddle while throwing blood at you. Defeating these manifestations yields unique relics though, like the Hand of Riot, which allows you to aggro other entities against your target, or the Butcher Cleaver, that deals extra damage at low health. Helps when you eventually encounter the Cannon Head, a formidable foe that launches fireballs at players with deadly precision, while also possessing the agility to dodge incoming ranged attacks from its enemies. This combination of firepower and evasiveness makes engagements with the Cannon Head a challenging dance of attack and avoidance, which can be really tricky when the sucker has you in its sights. Don't let their weak and squishy appearance fool you. These creatures are deadly if not dealt with swiftly. Once they rush towards you and latch on, knocking them back becomes impossible! To survive their aggressive onslaught, use the terrain to your advantage. Walking back to lower ground can really save you, as these foes have a hard time controlling themselves during a rush. Cow! Oh, the Oni! a creature lurking in the deep underground that presents a deceptive calm. It'll appear weak and docile to unsuspecting adventurers. However, if you provoke it, it'll buff up, shifting into an incredibly aggressive state that catches many off guard. This sudden change from passive to fiercely combative makes the Oni a unique challenge. Even more so when you're inflicted with permanent insomnia. The Insomniac mod prevents players from sleeping, forcing them to endure the long and terrifying nights. Though beds can still be used to mark your spawn point, players must face the dangers that lurk in the darkness head on and survive until dawn, even if it means fighting the Spitter. This cunning adversary has a unique ability to hide underground until disturbed. Then, they'll jump up, spitting acid everywhere. On the rare occasion they're defeated, Spitters may drop an acid sac, a versatile item with multiple uses. Combine it with slime for a devastating napalm sac, or craft it into a bowl for a debuff resisting meal, which will come in handy when entering the eerie world of SCP. Introducing creatures like the Black Shuck, a dreadful mob that, if looked at, will kill the player in 1 hour. Then there's the Stairwell, a strange structure entity that entices players into its infinite depths, from which escape is impossible. But worst of all, the Flamingo, a lawn ornament that springs to life. Are you serious? Whoa! Whoa! Let me down! Also, be wary of the Monsoon. Not only does it have the power to levitate players, leaving them vulnerable, but it can also call down lightning strikes with precision. And it can spawn mini monsoons that add to the chaos by darting towards the player. Oh, whoa! What the? Are you friendly? No, you are not! The Froglin is a menacing swamp dweller, notorious for its aggressive nature towards both mobs and players, spitting poison goo that can immobilize its adversaries with ease, and even eating smaller mobs to sustain its voracious appetite. Best to kill it quick! Ugh. Thank goodness that's what's that?
Ignite the pillar.
A pillar? Oh. I don't think I...
Ignite it!
I guess I'll ignite it. For science. Taking out a nether star and right-clicking on this mysterious pillar will summon the legendary Herobrine to battle, and will instantly drain your sanity, giving way to a barrage of hallucinations. While fighting them off, Herobrine will dart back and forth, dealing swift damage and testing the limits of your endurance. Ow! Defeating Herobrine is a monumental challenge, requiring help from every item you've collected on your journey. But what rewards await the victor? Well, this mystery remains. For as soon as I defeated him, he teleported away, leaving a chilling reminder that he still lurks somewhere.
Now, watch this video. See you very soon.